Hi guys, great to have you here today. We're going to talk about a very powerful move in the golf swing. When I'm watching mid to high handicap players make golf swings, I often see players that are coming in very steep. This club shaft starts to come down very steep. Even if you hit a draw going from a steep angle and then kind of rerouting that and using a lot of hands and arms to try to hit a draw in the downswing. Well, that's not what I see pro players doing. They're actually making, if we're looking from above, an X type shape with their hands and their club coming through contact, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is, but that allows them to get this club to shallow out and really slingshot and really accelerate through that ball to get a lot of speed without putting out a lot of muscular effort. So if you feel like you're putting a lot of effort into your swing, you feel like your hands and arms are getting pretty tight in the downswing to really try to create that speed, this is going to be a great video for you. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first let's look at a pro player doing this in action, and there's not very many players out there that are longer than J.B. Holmes, and he's not a humongous, 6'5", 6'6" guy like a lot of the guys you see in the long drive. Those are big guys. He's not a big guy. I think he's about 5'10", 5'11", somewhere around in there. Obviously very strong, but he's getting that speed by using the momentum of the club, releasing that club out in front. So if we look at this over the top view, when we're looking at his hands, as his hands get closest to the ball, they're roughly in front of his right thigh. Now from there until contact, his hands and arms are actually moving into the left. So that you can see that red line that we're demonstrating on the picture right now, that's his hands moving to the left from when they get in front of his left thigh until the club reaches the ball. And if you look at the club head, when his hands are in front of his right leg, then you're going to see that club head moves in the opposite direction. So his hands are turning back up into the left. They're actually moving this way up into the left as we're coming through contact, and the club head is moving out down into the right. And that allows that, as you turn the corner with your hands, as a lot of people call this, that allows that club to really accelerate. So when we come back, that's great to know, but how are we going to do this? Well, a very vital piece of this is we have to shallow out this club, and that's why we make a big deal on the Top Speed Golf system about the move. And that means that as I make my transition, my hands are coming down, my club is going to shallow out and flatten out that swing plane as I'm coming down. If you want a great way to check this, if you're filming from down the line, just like the camera view we're looking at now, as my club shaft is coming in the downswing, I want that to match up with my right forearm in the downswing. So I'll do my best doing a slow motion swing here. That should basically match up with my right forearm as I'm coming through. That's going to shallow this club out, get it slightly to the inside, and now as my hands turn in back up and in to the left, that's going to let this club whip on through there and to really accelerate very quickly. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this, a common misconception that I see players trying to do when they're getting this flatter angle, is they start swinging way out to the right. We're not trying to flatten out this club and swing out to the right, a big inside out path and get a big hook. You could even play a cut from this position. So we're shallowing this out. You can imagine this like a plane of glass. You could have a very steep plane of glass that would be moving squarely through the ball at a very vertical angle, straight through the ball, a very vertical angle coming through. Or you could have a very shallow plane of glass that would be flatter, square as you're coming through the ball, and then flatter as you're releasing the club on the other side. So we're talking about flattening out this shaft angle, and you'll notice all pros are doing this. Take a look at any top pro. They're all flattening out that shaft in the transition to get that shallow angle so that they can take advantage of this whipping action, this powerful X-type motion that we're having through contact. So that's the first thing. We got to get that shallowed out. Now, what I would recommend doing, feel like your upper arm, your left, this would be your humerus, from your shoulder socket is actually turning in. Imagine you had a doorknob and you're going to turn it inward from your shoulder. So if you look at my elbow, here's my elbow down. As I turn that, that's going to be my elbow pointing more to the left. If I had a club, I could do this and that would shallow it out. You'll also notice the logo of my glove is more up toward the sky when I'm doing this. And we walk over all this. If you're a member of the Top Speed Golf website, we go over all this in the move section. But as I'm making that transition, I want to feel like that left arm comes out more this way. I want to feel like my right elbow gets tucked under. So another one for you guys, if you feel like your elbow is coming out this way in your downswing, you'll notice you're losing a lot of lag coming in steeper. This would be perfect for you guys too. We don't want that elbow to come out. We want that elbow to be tucked in and that club shaft to flatten this way. Now, here's the big piece. Once we've gotten this flattening action, how do we actually get those hands to move up and to the left? A lot of that comes from the hips. As you're making your downswing, your very first move down should feel like I'm nice and wide. You may have heard like the Sam Snead squat. My knees are nice and wide, just like Sam Snead got, and I'm getting a little bend in my knees so I can put some pressure into the ground. Now, as I rotate my hips on through and I'm driving up for my legs, now you can see how my hands are moving on an upward path, how that would make this X-type motion to slingshot the club through there. If we're looking at it from this way, same thing would happen. As my hips open up, you can see those hips opening. That's going to naturally get my shoulder to open up, to start coming back into the left. And my shoulder is naturally going to raise to get those hands moving to the left, and now I'm getting this big, powerful X-type motion. So work on those drills. To recap, we're going to make some swings in our living room. If you're in your living room right now, grab a golf club, start making some practice swings. You can even choke up on the club while you're doing this. Number one, I want to make sure I get a good full turn. I'm going to shallow this club out coming down. My upper left arm is shallowing out, logo of my glove up toward the sky. Number two, I'm going to feel like my knees get nice and powerful as I'm making my transition. And number three, as my hands get about right here, now I'm letting everything open up. My hands are moving back in as my club swings out. And remember, I'm not trying to go way out to the right. I'm going from a flatter position. As this accelerates, it's coming squarely through the ball and then back into the left as I'm releasing the club. So let's go ahead and try this out. I'll make a few swings. We'll take a look in slow motion. And you guys work on that Power X. You're going to start ripping the golf ball. Good luck to you guys. See you soon. All right, guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got an awesome bonus for you. We all want lots of lag in our golf swing. It's so crucial to have tons of lag to be able to get that high club head speed and to be able to drive it past your friends. I'm going to play a preview from one of my most important golf lag videos. If you're on a desktop device, you can go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen. If you're on a phone or a tablet, you go ahead and click the iCard, and you're going to get instant access to that video. Plus, you're going to get instant access to 5 videos from our Top Speed Golf system. Good luck to you guys. Go out there and rip the ball. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.